What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome. We are doing our preview show, match preview. Welcome to the preview show. We're going to be live doing this, obviously, as you can tell. We are running a little late. I'll be honest, the Tesco delivery driver taking the piss. That's pretty much why. But yeah, we're going to do our preview show for Blackburn on Saturday. We will be live at 2:45. As always, on Saturday for our watch along. So at the moment, QPR sit 13th with Blackburn sitting in the relegation zone at 22nd. They do. QPR right here, mate. How are you? I'm good, mate. How are you? Hopefully all good. Listen, look, we're gonna get straight into this today. And if we have time afterwards, we'll have a bit of a conversation. I'm literally annoyed with the Tesco delivery driver right now, waiting for him to be, he's running late basically. It's bullshit. So yeah, but hopefully everyone's okay. Hopefully you're having a good day. Like I said, we'll be live on Saturday for the watch along. So yeah, we're sitting at the moment 13th, Blackburn 22nd at the moment. You know, it's very close at the top there. It's very close. So yeah, I'm good. Apologies for missing Charlton Fort Street. Oh, don't worry. Right, listen, Ryan, you do not need to apologize. Honestly, listen. Look, at the end of the day, if you're busy, you're busy. If you want to tune in, you want to tune in. It's totally up to you. Listen, at the end of the day, you know, you do what you gotta do. You know, you do what you gotta do. So yeah, right, let's switch scenes. Right, so as you can see, I need to sort that out. Interact with that. Where's my interact tool? There we go. Get rid of that. Right, so yeah, as you can see, we are sitting 13th, and I keep repeating myself. Blackburn 22nd. You know, it's at home. It's a must-win game, as you can tell by the title. We gotta win this. There's no doubt about it. We gotta win this. There's no excuses. There's no you know, pathetic performances. It's one of them games where, you know, it's a must-win. You know, Blackburn 22nd. We're at home. They got minus 13 goal difference. We beat them at home 1-0 already. We know how the performances are gonna be. You know, we have injuries coming back, which is a positive. Elias Scher, Jake Clark-Salter, and someone else I believe is back in training, which I was told yesterday, I believe, by Foley. Now, Blackburn, in my opinion, have obviously changed their whole layout now. They got a new manager or head coach or whatever it is, interim. In, I believe, what's his name? Give me a second. I just need to remember the name. Does anyone know his name? I'm just gonna look on here now to find out what his name is. So his name is Damien Johnson. He is. I don't know much about him, I'll be honest with you. Now, from recent performances of Blackburn, I can tell you this right now, with the form that they're in. If we just, Brentford and Arsenal playing, I forgot about that game. Shit. After recent performances, if we go to, where is it? Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn Rovers games. So the last game they played was Norwich. I believe it was an away game. And they lost 2-0 to Norwich, they did. Now, that whole game was pretty much, the first half was all Norwich, and then the second half was very 50-50. So I don't know if Daniel was in charge of this game or not. I can't remember. But as Ryan says right now, Blackburn have struggled and haven't won for ages. So yeah, they're not a very possessive side. Looking at it in this new setup that they're doing. Expected goals, it should be the same against Norwich. You know, we should be killing them, as far as I can see. Yeah, Norwich beat them 2-0. Blackburn beat, obviously, Sheffield Wednesday, and that wasn't even a dominant game. That's probably because, like I said, Sheffield Wednesday shit at the end of the day. They've lost to Hull at home. They did draw to Watford and obviously lost to Swansea. So realistically, I can't sit here and tell you how they play, because I can only go by with what we've experienced at their ground, and that was basically them playing out from the back, and we were basically putting pressure on them where they were passing it from the back and getting them attacks going and the crosses in. You know, they seem to lack a lot of threat or defensively ability on the wing, so that's where our attacking was before, and that's what I'm going to say from now is, you know, we're going to have to put in a lot of balls in the box like last time. You know, Paul Smith did score, I believe it was the last game for against Blackburn, and it was a really cracking goal. It was great play when we played them. If we go to the head-to-head game, the game where we won in November, so as you can see, we dominated that game completely. You know, ball possession, like I said, Blackburn with Ishmael, they were a very passing team, very possessive team, but they weren't very attacking greatly. With us, we put them on their front foot. They kept pushing too much higher with their defense, and that's when our attack with our counters and stuff like that were very putting them in a vulnerable place. So if we're going to do the same thing, cool, but as we're at home, it's going to be a different formation. You know, we've been pretty much all the last couple of games with the 4-2-3-1. You know, we've been using the attacking midfielder for creativity. It's looking a lot better. But I think what I will say is this: our defensive ability has improved so much. I'm very pleased with it, very proud. And it's something that we've been waiting to see for a while. I don't know why it's taken Steve Cook this long to do this. Maybe it's a great partnership at the moment with Jimmy Dunn. You know, we've got Ronnie Edwards in there. Amadou's back from suspension, obviously on the bench. So it's going to be a very... wondering who's going to be chosen. I know obviously if injuries are back, if he is going to play some of those players on the bench, if they are fit enough, then it'd be good to see. But the person that obviously that I want to see come back is obviously Varane and Chair, and obviously some others. You know, I'm happy with Joe Walsh. You know, he didn't play this game. It was Hamer that had a great performance but got injured. Joe Walsh, in this sense, I think we'll see what he does. I think he's going to shine at home. A lot of fans going to be... if he gets man of the match again, it'd be very impressive. So, yeah. But, yeah, like I said, there's not much to really say on Blackburn. I don't know really much what I haven't been watching them against Norwich. All I know is that they've been losing games. So, yeah. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. We need to, like I said, we need to be on the attack. We need to see if Kone can score these goals for us. That's the most important thing. It is. Which, obviously, he hasn't been scoring that much lately. He has had a couple of goals, but unfortunately, it's not been the best. Let's be honest. You know, I love Kone, but I think right now it's a different kind of setup for him with Julian. And, yeah, going from there. QPR Ryan says Blackburn haven't won away since November last year. 22nd, I believe. What could possibly go wrong? ITZYEBOIDB is Chair back in training. Apparently, Chair has been back in training for 2 weeks, with what I've been told. Is he going to be available tomorrow? I'm not too sure. If he is, he's going to be on the bench. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Honestly, well, as well as welcome into the chat as well. Thank you for tuning in. Ryan says, I'd honestly extend Cook's contract for another year. He's been class. I don't know. Listen, I like Cook. You know, I've always liked Cook. I think he was a brilliant player for Bournemouth in the Premiership. When he came here, he was brilliant. He got injured. Obviously, he hasn't been playing the best. Do you want to take that risk yet again? It's kind of hard to say. In my opinion, I do like Cook, but extending-wise, I honestly would rather bring in a younger defender. You know, we got Jimmy, got Ronnie now, and Benge's there. You know, I personally would say we need another defender in there to replace him. If we extend the contract, cool, happy days. But I honestly believe he will only stay if it's a guaranteed we're going to get into the Premier League that season. I know he wants to get QPR into the Premier League. That's his aim. That's his ambition for QPR right now, is to see QPR get into the Premier League, which I'm very, very happy to see that, but let's be honest, we're not ready for that this season. If we get to the playoffs eventually, because they're very tight still, they're very tight. If we look at the table, we're only pretty much 45, 46, 47, 3 points from playoffs, you know? So we're still in it at the end of the day. We're still in it. So it's going to be interesting. But right now, I would say Cook, in his form right now, I would say, okay, I understand if we renew it. But personally, I think there's other defenders we could go into with a cheaper wage. You know, he's on a high wage at QPR. So he's one of the most highest paying players. He is there. So we'll see what happens with it and go from there, really. But yeah, like I said, there's not much to really say about Blackburn, you know, apart from they've lost all their games, pretty much apart from one. Their form is literally 1-1 in 5. Our form is literally only lost 1 in 5, 1 in 5. So yeah, pretty good. It's not bad. Kuban says, if with Coney against Coventry, we played the ball forward to him instead of only going down the wings. We need to do the same and give him something to run onto. Like I said, Kone for me is a poacher. I think anytime he gets the ball into the box, he's gonna score if it's a good ball. But personally, you know, he can't run. You know, he's not the paciest, but he's Harry Kane. It's the only way to say it, right? He can only finish like Harry Kane. You know, if you have the right players around him, which we do, we can deliver balls into the box and to score. And that's where most of his goals have come from, inside of the box. You know, he can do things on his own, but he's not the best dribbler. Let's be honest. He's not very great on the ball with being skillful or anything like that. You know, so when he does touch the ball, it gets a bit nervous when we're watching him, you know. But Fardouz, he is a brilliant player, a brilliant striker, a very good goal scorer, Charlie Austin type of player. I love it. You know, I'm not gonna badmouth it whatsoever, you know, get rid of him, this and that. Listen, at the end of the day, I know how he plays. I know he's a quality striker. I know he's good. But it just needs them deliveries into the right area for him. It's that simple. You know, Burrell is a different type of striker. He can do what Kone does, but he could also create opportunities for himself. You know, Kone has done it, but only from out the box, really. So, yeah. H4 says, is Cook still the most paid player? I don't know if he's the most paid player, but he's the one of the most paid players. I would possibly say Ilishare, him, and possibly Jimmy Dunn, I would say, are the highest paid players there. So, yeah. Paul Smith, I don't know what he's on. He's probably on lower, but yeah. Apart from that, like I said, we got to go onto the attack a lot at home. You know, we need to use our home form again, get back up there, get some points. I believe Julian said on the interview, the preview, he was just saying that how he's impressed and worked on defense a lot more to fully function it into a thing that he wants to be and see. So he's happy with that. But he also says the same word that he brings up a lot is consistency. You know, he wants to see a bit more consistency in the team, and in this league, it's kind of hard to do that. But I honestly believe he, like I said, he is the right manager to do what we need to do to get up that pitch. You know, Middlesbrough have taken over the top spot now. You know, their form is incredible, and their goal difference is getting better and better each day. You know, Ipswich have improved. They're up there with Coventry. Hull is one, I would say, the dark horses compared to us this season. You know, Millwall as well. Wrexham, I'm no surprise there with the money and the players that they're spending on. But I believe that's the only reason why they're up there is because of the money that they spent. I wouldn't say the manager's very tactically adapted. I just say the players are very, very good. So, yeah. Any players for Blackburn that we should watch out for from your knowledge? For me, they've got rid of most of their players, I would say, that are decent, that I would say are very ones to watch out for. Obviously, Cantwell, or Hashi, really two good players. They are probably the ones to watch out for tomorrow if they are play. You know, Carr is a very good defender. McLaughlin is a very good defender. But I believe those are the only two really threats. What I would say, you know, we know about Cashin, but I'll be honest, he's moved on a bit. But I would say 3 key players right now: Morishita, Ohashi, and Cantwell. They're the ones that you got to watch out for. They're the goals, they're the pace, they're the heart of the team, and that comes from there. Give me a second, people. So right, people, Tesco delivery driver is now here. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, key players to watch out for tomorrow: Cantwell, Morishita, and Ohashi. 3 talented attackers for Blackburn. Honestly, you know, 4 goals, 3 assists for Cantwell, 1 goal, 3 assists for Morishita, and Ohashi 6 goals, 1 assist. But personally, I think we can do them. Honestly, I reckon we can. I reckon we've done them at their ground. We could probably get a better result and a better attacking ability at ours. It's going to be very interesting to see what the team he puts out. We need to stick with the 4-2-3-1. Keep Kone up there unless you're going to play Collie. I would say play Collie. Give Kone a rest. I'd personally also say we need to kind of look into our midfield. Maybe put Vale on the right, Sato in the middle, and whoever is on the left, you know, Paul Smith. That is what I would like to see. Obviously Madsen, and it's probably going to be someone else in midfield. Maybe, like I said, the only person I can think of right now with Varane injured is that Caden. In defence, we'll probably see Ronnie, Jimmy, Steve Cook, and Davis, unless he plays Escudino because it's Blackburn, and Joe Walsh in goal. That's how the team, I think. That's the prediction that I'm going to go with. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, this is a must-win game. Injuries are coming back. Happy days to QPR. You know, let's get this form going. Let's start tomorrow with a positive game. Not tomorrow, Saturday with a positive game. A nice win, some great goals. And let's build up back off into the top 10. From there, I want to see us do a good run. Nice little 5-win streak will be nice. We'll go from there. But yeah, apart from that, that is it really. Not much else to say. Like I said, we'll see what happens on Saturday with the game. I can't really sit here and say how they play, but it looks like it should be an easy win and an easy game. You know, Ishmael was different, so yeah. Apart from that, we're gonna leave it there for tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to, and we'll catch you on Saturday for the watch along. Thank everyone for tuning in. Cheers, much love. I've just got to rush off because the Tesco delivery driver's here. So have a peace, love, positivity, and we'll catch you on Saturday. Cheers.